It is good to see you. I'm glad you're here. And we are just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm Nicolle Hutchinson, Mrs. Hutchinson, Executive Director, and I have with me our teacher of our lower school self-contained room. This is Casey Biddle.
Hello.
And she does a lot of work with, most of her class are distracted, kids that are easily distracted. So she's good to be here with us. And then of course there's Elizabeth Hutchinson, who is our enrollment. She's helping with making sure we're recording and seeing everybody's chats and all. So I want you to think of a moment through remote learning that's been a lovely moment, and then a moment that's been difficult. Anybody got theirs yet? Anybody want to share? Skipping classes was difficult. Okay. And what was a lovely moment, Carissa? Did you have a lovely moment? Or maybe you did, Jess. Can you think of one? Or Casey, do you have a lovely moment?
I think for me, a lovely moment is any time that they're, fully participating and everyone's doing the lesson, participating in lesson at their seats. That's just a lovely moment to be able to have everyone together.
Yeah. And Carissa wrote the organization of the classwork and Zoom meetings. Good. I'm glad that those are going lovely. Yeah. Mine have been the breakouts, like when I send kids off to breakout rooms and they're on their own, and then I go check on them and they're working and they're talking about math or whatever it is I'm teaching. It's just lovely to see that happening.
My lovely moment is when Otto sits there and listens to his teacher and pays attention to his teacher.
Yeah, those are lovely moments. Yeah. They're engaged, right? They're learning. It's so good to see. Well, the goal of this time is to help us to find out why kids are easily distracted. And when we know why, then we can do things that help them. And so that we'll have more lovely moments and fewer of the difficult moments. So I'm going to kind of give some teasers or some helpful tips that you can use right away in your home. And then later we can have some more in-depth workshops and things like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit. You might want some note-taking materials, but this is also being recorded, so you can always come back to it if you need to see something and want to check something out, because I'm going to list some really cool resources. And Ms. Biddle is going to share some interesting things as well. So I need everybody to think one more time about something else this time. I want you to think of something that you cannot do physically. For instance, I cannot dunk a basketball. If you were to see me stand up, you would know why. I'm very short. I cannot, when I played volleyball, I couldn't spike. I have eye issues. I had to make everything really big. If it's small, I have to put glasses on, right? I have to have them. So what is something you physically can't do? Anybody can just yell it out, or you can type it, Carissa.
I cannot draw. I can, do like doodles, but they are not good. A kindergartner might be able to do better. So I cannot draw. I'm not artistic.
This doesn't come to you naturally.
Right.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I can't draw.
No. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. I cannot stay focused to read a long book. Okay. That is interesting that you say that, Carissa, because I want us to think now, the reason we're here is because we have kids who are easily distracted, right? And they can't focus sometimes. It really is just physically very hard for them. It's physically hard for Carissa to get through a very long book, right? What are some other things that we feel like our kids can't do? The ones that are easily distracted. Just yell them out. You can talk to Casey and you know, Elizabeth, if you've got something, I can share it.
Sit still for a long period of time.
Sit still, manage time, Carissa wrote.
Keep their materials organized.
Organize. What did you say?
Taking a lot of information.
Yeah, too much information. They just can't take it all.
Keep the area clean.
Yeah, stay clean and organized. Yep.
Long blocks of learning.
Yeah, it's got to be short. Yep. I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen with you and show you. Does any of this look familiar to you? Focus is hard for them to stay focused, to plan, to prioritize what should go first. You guys said organize. Did anybody think about emotional control? Just that they get, you know, can be very quick to get emotional about something. How about starting something, taking initiative? Can be difficult for them. Motivation, right? And self-restraint. These are all things that our students that are easily distracted, this is what they struggle with. And I'm going to explain that they can't do this without some sort of help. These things are physical things they can't do. It's not moral. It's not because they're immoral and that they have bad ideas or they're bad kids. It's not that at all. They physically struggle doing these things, just as I struggle seeing without my glasses. So I have to put them on. So my point is that we need to give them prescription glasses. That's what we need to give these kids because they can't do it on their own. We need to show them, get them some glasses. That's going to be my metaphor through here, getting them some glasses. So does your child need glasses? I don't think you'd be here if you didn't think they needed these glasses, right? So that's why we're here. And I'm going to show you what some of them are. And the reason that some kids might have it is because they might have ADD or ADHD. They might be bipolar. They might have autism. They might have high anxiety. And they might have been through a traumatic time. Like we just had a family that went through a fire. I mean, that's traumatic. That can cause these issues to happen in kids and then they can't do these things. So those are some of the things that can be the reason. And if you're not sure and you want to know if that could be it, one of those reasons, then I have here some prescription. How do you get a prescription? How do you know? Well, you could give your kid a survey. There are surveys online. If you want to look at executive skills questionnaire for teens and parents, that might give you an idea. Yeah, my kid might have some struggles in these areas. Maybe they have executive function deficits, which we're going to talk about in a minute. You might want to go to your doctor and find out for sure. Or there's experts like Dawson and Guar who wrote these books. And in this book here particularly, there's surveys in that one that parents can give their kids and find out if that's what's going on with their kid. So then you can determine, oh, these are the things through the survey. These are the things that my child needs help with. But like I said, it's not their fault, right? They didn't choose this brain. And so this is, your child might have what we call executive function deficit, or have gone through the trauma. And this is something that they didn't choose. Just like I didn't choose to wear glasses. I actually hate wearing glasses and I have to put them on my head and try to get away with not wearing them. They bother me. I didn't choose to be short. People with executive function deficit, or what I'm gonna call EFD, didn't choose their brains. They didn't choose to have this. But I wanna pivot for a moment and I want us to think about our kids and pivot and think about, well, what is it that's great about them? What is it that we love about them? I have someone in my life who has it and so creative, such a creative person. I see so much of that. What other greatness do we see in these kids that have EFD?
It's so funny. I was going to use that word too, because they are so creative. Their mind just goes and goes and you can't stop them, and it's awesome to see and watch them, you know, make something with Play-Doh and have it be something that you wouldn't even think of. So they're just really out of the box thinkers and creative, and yeah.
Carissa agrees, very creative, and they can multitask if they get the focus part down. Yeah, you know, that's so true, Carissa, because like if they can get into the what they're called the flow, when they're in that flow, you better not take them out of there, because they love being there and they are so focused and they get so good at whatever it is that they really care about, right? They just shine. It's so great to see. Yeah, and they're so smart.
Mm-hmm.
And what a lot of people say about people with the EFD is that they are smart but scattered. And it's not their fault, right? They're just very smart, but all of those different things are difficult for them. And I'm going to actually, whoops, I hate it when I do that. I want to talk about oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Yes, I was right. So here is an example of what I mean by it's not their fault. So when you look at the brain, our brain has different parts. So in the front of the brain is what's called the chief executive officer. It's called the executive function. In the back is like where we see. So if we fall on our, if we fall on our head, that's why we black out, because this is the part of the brain that has to do with our senses and our seeing. But this front part has to do with all of these things that are in this green thing over here in the green circle. Initiation and activation, planning and organizing, paying attention, monitoring oneself, working memory, effort, and emotional regulation. This part of the brain does not work the way mine does or other people do. I can do these things on my own pretty well. Other people need help to have motivation. The people, because it's not there in their brain. It's just not there, and it's not their fault. I want to show you what working memory means. Do you see this shelf? I want you to imagine you each have a certain length of a shelf in your brain, and you can only handle so much stuff at a time. Some of us have really long shelves. Some of us have very short shelves. And if I have a short shelf, I can't handle a lot of tasks at one time. I can't learn a whole lot of things at one time. I need to do things at one at a time. Put one thing on the shelf, and I'm going to take that off and put the next thing on the shelf. Where some of us might have a shelf this long, and I can do lots of things, think about a lot of things, we're all at one time. I didn't choose the length of my shelf. I didn't choose my working memory. So we need to do things that help with the working memory. And we need to do things that help with focus, help them plan and prioritize, help them organize. They can do these things with what we're going to call our glasses. That's when they can do these things. Any questions so far or thoughts? No? Okay, then we're going to go on, and I'm going to talk about the effects. Have you ever noticed how having this way of being has affected the people in your lives that have this, that might struggle with EFD? Have you ever thought about how it affects them? Any thoughts? Well, I'm going to tell you what I've noticed. They beat themselves up. They think they're stupid, and they're not. They are so far from stupid. But because they can't do a bunch of things at one time, or because they forget where they laid down their jacket, or they forgot they ran out of the house without their lunch bag, they're like, oh, so dumb. And they get mad at themselves. And so our goal is to help kids to realize it's okay if you didn't choose your brain. There are things you can do, and you can't beat yourself up. I can't beat myself up because I have to wear glasses. It's not my fault. I didn't choose to. You don't beat yourself up because you're short like me and you can't dunk a basketball. But these kids have a tendency to just really feel badly and feel like they're dumb because they struggle with these things, and they're not. And that's what we have to help them to see. I have 4 things that I want to share with you today that you can start doing right away that will be glasses for these kids. And that's simple tasks, organization and reminders, the nurtured heart approach, and an earning point system. And we're going to go over those, and I'm going to kind of give a teaser about it. And the thing is after this workshop, if you want, if you're interested, we can have more workshops just on these different things. And I can even do a workshop just on EFD to better understand what kids can and can't do and what they need the glasses for. So let's start with simple tasks. If their brain, their working memory shelf is so shorter than some of ours, then we can't give them 5 tasks at one time. We can't say, I want you to go do this, 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 and this. We just can't do it. We need to tell them 1 at a time. And after they've done it, we tell them the second one. Then we tell them the third one. And they'll do it. They'll get it. They'll figure it out. But if you give them a lot, they won't. And they'll get frustrated. That's when they might get mad. That's when they shut down. That might be when they get ornery, because they know they can't, and it frustrates them. So simple tasks. Am I right? Have you guys noticed that? Y'all already doing that? You've learned that just works with them, right? So if you've been doing it, excellent job. That's exactly what they need. And it's not because they're dumb. Keep saying that in your mind. They just have a shorter shelf. That's all it is. Okay, so that's one of them. And then another thing is that if you give them simple tasks, it helps with their working memory. It also helps them to focus. It helps them to plan. One little thing at a time. You keep them organized. It helps their emotions. Another thing is organization and reminders. We know that they aren't organized. It doesn't come naturally. And we know that they forget. So let's be their prescription glasses for them. Let's help them get organized. Let's help them get reminders. I have an example here for you right behind me. You see this? I'm going to stop sharing. Make sure you see, because bigger picture. These are the 10 habits of what we call for life. And these are the things, 10 of the things that kids with EFD struggle with. And so we've made posters and put them in the room to remind them, oh, I need to problem solve. I need to resist peer pressure. Oh, that's right. Am I following through? I need to follow through. We point to them sometimes and say, look, you just did that. And to remind them of what they've done. That's one thing you can do. What are some things that you're already doing in your house right now that is helping be a reminder or organize your child? Anybody can unmute and share.
So I'll just share for my classroom, what I have them try and do is keep all their materials in one space. So we gave them boxes, and I try to always refer them to their box. You know, put that book in your box so that tomorrow when we need it, you have it. Yep, just like that. It's somewhere where all their materials are, where it's not like, oh, my book's over in the living room and my pencil's over here. They have everything right where they need it, and we try and get those things together at the beginning of the day before we even start any lessons.
Because then they're not running off and then they forgot what they were going for.
Right.
That thing
That's what I have too. I have shelves set up for the both of them. My oldest, my freshman, has a checklist that he has to check off every day for work. I have containers with their stuff in to make sure everything's right there for both of them, because they both have trouble with organization and keeping things together.
Great. Yep. And you just gave them prescription glasses for it. You really are doing a great job with that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Alexa, Krista wrote that Alexa has reminders and she announces. A checkoff list on the fridge, right, is a good thing. The problem is they don't remember to put them back in their container, right? Right. So maybe you write a note. and you put it up on the wall and it says, put materials away. That's okay. Why not give that to them? Whatever thing that you're working on with them, make a poster and just put it right there. I have a friend who is older than me and she has EFD and she has Post-it notes all over the house just to remind her of stuff. And it helps her, you know, and she's happier. So, okay, you don't have that working memory shelf. I'm going to make you a shelf by putting Post-it notes around the house. That's enlarging your shelf, right? So you'll remember to do things. Let me share my screen. I was thinking how organization and reminders helps with working memory, but it also helps them to focus because now I'm not distracted. I don't have to go look for my book. It's right here. I can stay focused. Helps them. If you don't lose something, you don't get emotional about it. You don't get upset, right? It helps in all those areas that they struggle. Does anybody have one of these on their fridge? Yeah. So I know what's coming up, right? Calendars, checkoff lists, all of these things help kids and we have to teach them how to do it. Those are very helpful. Posters around the house. Okay. Nicely done. Now we're going to go to the third thing that I wanted to share with you, and that's called the nurtured heart approach. And this is an approach that was developed by a guy to help kids who are distracted and who are also challenging or intense. And that has to do with that emotional control, right? They just get so emotional or they just don't restrain themselves and they just talk out, or they, that's what he initially developed Nurtured Heart for. So you're gonna watch a clip and they're gonna talk about the challenging child. Now, maybe your child isn't challenging, but your child is distracted. So just know that even though they might say this child is challenging and you don't feel like yours is, that's not, this whole method helps with the distracted kid. And I don't know, we've been using it at Gillingham for about 3 years now, and it has made all the difference with some of our kids because restorative practices just wasn't enough. And so we had to go to this Nurtured Heart approach. And Casey's nodding her head because she knows it helps in her classroom, where every child she has in that classroom is a distracted child. And it's helping them stay calm and focus. And so I'm going to share with you a bigger picture of what it is by listening to some parents and to some counselors and some people who've used it. And I'm going to see what time we're at. We're at 7:24. So we're doing really well on time. So I'm going to share my screen. And I've got to move you guys. The picture of people always moves. Okay, move that up. And I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to show you where to go for the Nurtured Heart. Now watch where, can you guys see what I'm doing? Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to type in Nurtured Heart Approach. There it is. And it's the Children's Success Foundation. I just click on that. And it takes me right to their website. And what's cool about this website that I love is that it has these videos. Oh, they're going to have a training soon. And there's the founder. And I'm going to start with this. That's a 20-minute clip. I'm not going to show the 20-minute clip. You can watch the 20-minute clip. But I'm going to show this one here. It's an 8-minute clip.
The kids I work with feel like they've got nothing. And I've really struggled with therapies that will fix that. The Nurtured Heart approach for me is a way of giving tools to not only myself, but parents, teachers, youth workers, anybody that's at that cold face with these kids, to help them really see what's great about them and really start to look to life with a bit more hope and a bit more purpose.
This work evolved out of my work as a family therapist, working with some of the most difficult kids, and it's moved into how to help kids build inner wealth, and by doing that, helping them to flourish. the approach has evolved from being used primarily with parents to now being used in larger scale ways in education in thousands of classrooms around the world, in many different kinds of therapeutic applications in group homes, in foster care by child advocates.
I've tried all kinds of different models for approaching kids and helping them to improve. And I have not run across anything that feels more intuitive, more natural, more accessible for kids.
I am the approach. I don't have to learn something. Again, I don't have to remember. I don't go into my head because I'm trying to think of what did it say on page 327? Because when you're coming from your heart, when you are the approach of Nurture Your Heart approach, there's no mistakes.
You talk to people, energize them about their greatness, and you see it growing. Not at all giving energy to anything negative.
The Nurtured Heart approach is so powerful because it gets at the core of their opinion of themselves. And no one has ever said, "You're awesome." Because of their negative behaviors, challenging behaviors, and really intense behaviors, they've elicited negative attention from all of the people that have worked with them without ever really noticing and bringing out and blooming in their own minds that there's a level of awesomeness to them that no one has ever taken the time to share with them.
If adults are there in their lives just to tell them what to do, yeah, tell them no, to judge them, to tell them where they're going around, to point out all the bad points, nothing will change. But the approach changes that. The approach looks as, I'm going to recognize your qualities.
I've been through kind of a therapeutic life since I was around 8. I was kind of the little monster child and hard to handle a lot. And I ended up getting myself into self-harm, which is a really scary experience. Then, you know, continuing with this strong attitude I had against everything, the only thing that everyone thought to do was just punish me. It took, you know, attempted suicide for things to really it just threw us off the cliff. When we started doing the Nurtured Heart, it completely changed everything. I started noticing a difference like within the first week with my family, which meant a lot to me. So now being able to have so much trust into my family and, you know, really knowing that I am not going to be put down, you know, if I'm on the top of the stairs, I'm not going to be thrown down if I make a mistake. There's always a reset.
The biggest thing for me really was the amazing difference this approach made with my son, who my husband and I had given up hope on, and thinking, I'm not the mom for this kid. I don't know what to do. So the Nurtured Heart approach turned all of that around, told me I am the right mom for this kid. Actually, it's even better than I ever thought it was going to be. I can be a better mom than I ever thought I could be because of this.
Once we knew how to have beautiful, intentional relationships, and once our eyes were turned on what was right about them instead of focusing on all the diagnoses, all the things that were wrong, all the things that the predictions would be like, oh, this is gloom and doom. Once we knew how to go, no, we're just going to stay in this moment right here. And in this moment, we see greatness. In this moment, we see what's right. In this moment, you are magnificent. And we knew how to do that. It changed our hearts. And then we could parent them.
The tools that the approach provides just provide so much support for, okay, what do I do when she's upset? Or what do I do when I'm upset? It's just, okay.
And your clarity and your boundaries to trust when I can handle it doesn't feel like abandonment, it feels empowering. And so it just kind of, I don't know, it's really good for parent-adult-child relationships.
Yeah, there's not an age limit on it.
No.
And I keep saying, if the whole world can just get it, if the world can just get it, if the world can just get it. I can say that over and over. It would be such a much more beautiful world, a wonderful place to live if we remember to see the greatness in others.
Turkey's laid eggs. Jeremiah, Desmond, you may come out of reset. You need some help? Jameer, can you help him out? Turkeys gobble. Jeremiah, thank you for receiving that help from Jameer. And Jameer, thank you for helping your classmate out. That shows a good partnership going on right there. Good teamwork. Christina. A dog can run. Let's get another thing about a dog. Jordan. Dog. Give me something about a dog.
A dog barks a lot.
A dog barks. And you know what, Jordan? I don't know if you paid attention, but right here we have that a turkey gobbles and a dog does what? Barks. So you just showed me the difference between these two. You compared and contrast right there. Good job, Jordan. All right.
2 school years ago, we had 45 students that were ineligible to return because their pattern of disruptive behavior did not improve over the course of the year. Last year, there were only 5 that really were problematic and were unable to return. So that's a big drop for us, from 45 to actually 5 in that year's time.
With the population that I serve with special education students, those students who may be cognitively delayed, you're able to recognize anything about them. They're showing up for school, they're sitting in their seats, they're able to use a utensil to eat food.
You know what I noticed, Steve, is that you're not hitting that window hard. And that shows really great self-control, because I know you're a little upset. I love how you're calming yourself. And I really love the way you're taking care of yourself right now, Steve. Do you know that? Do you know you're taking good care of yourself?
Children need to know how special they are. They need to know how great they are. They need to know that they are a gift to the world. It doesn't matter where they come from. And if we can really convey that to them, I mean, if we can pour into them and help them internalize that fact, that's the antidote for poverty.
It makes your individual life better, your relationships better. It makes you happier. It makes you feel like you're contributing to the world, and it's synonymous with making the world a better place.
So what I can absolutely guarantee is exquisite moments of recognizing who you are and the gift that you are, and the joy of playing with the gift you are. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen.
Well, what are your thoughts? What stood out to you from that? Focus on the positive, Carissa said. Thumbs up or thumbs down. You guys agree? Focus on the positive. She wrote, set them up for success. What do you think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? We got some thumbs up with that, Carissa. What else stood out to you? Anybody can talk. You can unmute and share.
I noticed how even though he hit the window, he didn't focus on, oh, you shouldn't have hit that window. It was more of the positive. I love how you're calming yourself down and you didn't hit that window as hard.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what stood out to me was the parents. That I almost started crying. You know, you too, Jay, you too. Yeah. Because that's what we want, right? We want a really good relationship. And as a teacher too, you know, I want to have a good time with my kids. I want to see them with their greatness and without all that other stuff. And so this can happen. They didn't really say how though, did they? Did you notice that? Or did you guys kind of see, like Carissa noticed, it's focus on the positive, focus on the positive. It's that too. But there's 3 things you do. And so what I'm gonna share with you now, a quick overview. I don't know if I have time, 7:37, because I want Casey to be able to share. I'm gonna show you the website one more time though. I'm gonna show you something. Let's see. If I go to that, let's see, what do I need to do? I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, good, that's where I needed to go. And then if I go back to their website, Okay, so I'm back at the website. Do y'all see this? Am I sharing it? Okay. And you scroll down, you'll see Howard Glasser right here, and he talks and he shares about the philosophy. Then down here, that's the longer one. Here it's 3 minutes, and he talks about what you do, and it's 3 stands. And down here, you sign up for a free e-course. It's amazing. He'll send you 3 videos, and you'll learn how to do stand 1, which is you don't engage the negative. It's absolute no to negative behaviors. He'll send you a video for stand 2, which is absolute yes to the positive behaviors. And then he'll send you a 3rd video for clarity and consequences. So I highly, highly recommend you guys get that you sign up for this e-course and watch that. It will make all the difference. It made all the difference at Gillingham. I want to model it for you. So I don't know, have you already heard some positive? Have you guys already noticed some positive in this thing or in this training already? You saw it in the thing, like Yolanda. Remember how she was giving the high fives? She was saying, I noticed you did this, I noticed you did that, right? Did you hear her say reset? Yeah. So a kid was doing something a kid wasn't supposed to do. Did she linger on it? Did she lecture him? No, all she did was say reset. So here's an example. If I'm teaching and Casey's in my class, and what's something that might happen remotely, Casey? Why don't you do something that you've seen one of the kids do while I'm just talking with everybody right now?
Oh, hey, Elizabeth. Hey, can we
reset? Casey, reset. And so then I just keep on talking to you guys. Notice I didn't get mad at her. I'm not even going to talk about her. Just talking about you guys. You aren't interrupting. Look at that. Back in, Casey. Look how quickly you came right back in, Casey. Now you're ready to go. Now I'm going to see your greatness now. Here we go. I didn't say this is what you did wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't. I don't even do it. She already knew. She knew what she did. Now I'm just going to focus on when Casey's doing the right thing. So that's what we do with Nurtured Heart. But I already had established you don't yell out in class. She already knew all the rules that we have. And when you break a rule, I'm going to reset you. Parents, you can do this at home. What is it that you want them to do and you don't want them to do? And then you draw the line in the sand. And that's what this is all about. And when they cross the line, you just reset them. Remember, this wasn't just first done in school. Resets were done in homes first. This came out of people doing this in the home. So with that in mind, I want to go back to showing you, let's see. Okay, here it is. Okay, so that's the Nurtured Heart approach. And I showed you this. And it deals with working memory. It helps with focus. It helps them plan. It helps them organize. Because if they're not organized, they might get reset. It helps them control their emotions, because if they don't, they get reset. And task initiative, you don't start getting started, you get reset. And then when they are doing the task, I'm going, look, you started the task on your own. We're constantly reminding them of what they're doing well. And then you can have, fourthly, what we call an earning point system. Kids with EFD that are highly distractible do not do well when you take things away from them. I've had so many parents say to me, I don't know if I want to see if I'm going to get some nodding heads, but when I've tried taking away the kid, they don't care. Yep, look, I got some nodding heads. They don't care. But they care about, Carissa said 100% for my kid. Yeah, they just figure it out. They just don't care. You know what they do care about? Things they can earn. They like to earn things. And they will do the things they need to do to earn it. So that's why we developed an earning point system. You only earn points. You don't lose points. You don't lose them. You just earn, constantly earning. Now you might lose opportunities to earn. If you get a reset, well, you didn't get to earn a point, right? But when you do these things, and when you're doing what you need to be doing, anytime I compliment you and you're getting a point, they care. And then you figure out, what do they care about? What do they want to earn? So I have Casey here, and she is going to show you what she does with her class. And then we're going to give this to you. We're going to give you this document, and then you can take it and you can tweak it to use at home. What would this look like at home? All right, so Casey's going to be able to share and take over. So Casey, it's all yours.
Thank you. All right, so I'm sharing. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
This Class Dojo.
Yes. So what I use in my classroom right now with virtual learning is Class Dojo. It's an awesome tool. It can either be on a computer or an app. They do have an app for it. And so what it is it's pretty much, they say, where teachers and students build their classroom culture. So they choose skills and values that we want our students and kids to partake in and do, and things like creativity, teamwork, and it's a way that these can be used in the classroom, and we can see how they're being used by students. So how I use it is students earn 1 point for each skill that they are appropriately showing over Zoom. For example, if they're raising their hand quietly, they'll get a point. If they are participating during the lesson, they're getting a point. But they can also receive skills from the needs work section, where this is where we document our resets, but they're not losing points. It's kind of just noted because parents can see this report of all of their points and all these great things, who gave them the points during the day. If there is multiple teachers, they can see this. Yep, so any teacher can give them points, and there's not a set number of points that they can earn. So it's not like, oh, 60 is the cutoff. Nope, they can earn as many as they absolutely can, as long as they're following our 3 Bs. And points cannot be taken away. So I mentioned our 3 Bs, and Nicolle definitely helped with this. So in our classroom, we follow these 3 things. So we're being respectful, we're being safe, and we're being responsible. So we go over these every morning. They know exactly what to expect. Sometimes they even read them. They say, we're being respectful, we're being safe, we're being responsible. So we're not mocking, no interrupting, raising your hand, not threatening, not talking back or arguing. We're not inappropriately touching, no yelling, using our furniture correctly, no running and throwing. And they know here we say, except for PE, because right now we might need to do that during PE. We give fist bumps, high fives, and being responsible, keeping track of our materials. We're not lying, we're completing our work and our tasks, being where we're supposed to be, and we're following the school rules. So as long as they're following these things, they're getting a point.
So let me just ask everybody, what stands out to you about the 3 Bs and the rules? What do you note? Tara, what stands out to you?
It's not negative, but more of a positive, like, to them, and they know the rules.
It's clear to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's super clear, like, do not do this, right?
Yeah.
And then Carissa says what stands out to her is that it's repeated daily.
Yep.
And you know what?
Boys thrive on structure and constant reminders.
Because of their short shelf.
Yep.
Right? So every day is a new day. That's what I love about it too, is every day, we don't talk about anything that happened yesterday, how many resets you got yesterday. It's a new day, right? These are the things we're gonna do. Jess, did anything stand out to you, hon?
I don't know. Otto does all of that. So
okay.
I don't know what to do with him because he does not really like to listen to me. Because I'm like working and taking care of him at the same time. And he still does inappropriate stuff that I tell him not to.
Okay, so here's an idea. What are the things you don't want him to do? Make a list and see if you can put them under the 3 Bs. And when he does one of those, all you have to do is reset him. But when he doesn't do it, you compliment him. You recognize them, right? That's what we're trying to do here. That might make a difference for you, Jess. He might start listening to you.
Okay.
And our tool might help as well, and I'll show you that. So some of our virtual rewards that I have for our classroom, they go by points. So I started at 10 points because I was finding that every day they were at least earning 10 points. So every day they can at least earn something. It's not like, oh, you only got 5, you can't have anything. You want to be sure that they at least can get something every day that they can work towards. So for 10 points, you know, we can do a dance break. And these are just quick, 3 minutes I can take 3 minutes out of a lesson to do a quick dance break with them if that helps them. Picking a color to wear. They love picking my color to wear for the day. They think that that's great. Wearing their favorite color day. 20 points, choice of a read aloud. We've been doing a lot of books online that they listen to during snack and they love it. A video clip. Lately it's been cars. So we've been watching just videos of Porsches just driving because that's what they like. A home scavenger hunt, being able to show things from their home. They absolutely love that. 30 points. So as we go up, it gets a little bit bigger of a reward. So a class dance party or a Kahoot game, freeze dance, show and tell, dress up day. So the one day he chose to wear pajamas and that was his dress up. He wanted to wear pajamas. 40 points, being my assistant. So they help me, you know, take notes on some things, or they call on students if everyone has their hand raised. Okay, you can go next. Just doing those little things, they love that. So those are our points. They're still getting greatness tickets that we have, and these are even bigger prizes where we can choose a virtual field study. I can send them a postcard or a virtual lunch with somebody. So all of these rewards can be, you know, however you want them to be set up for your home, whatever that may look like, whatever rewards you would like to give. They don't always have to be things that you're buying, because I'm finding that they love videos, read alouds, just something that they chose. They really love it.
Can I add to, if you could go back real quick to your greatness ticket? When we say greatness tickets, that's something that a kid gets when they do something that's really hard for them. What are you pointing at?
I have greatness tickets printed out.
So like some kids, yeah, they have a hard time, let's say, resetting, and they refuse to reset. The moment they reset, and I know he struggles, he gets a greatness ticket. Look at you, you did something that's really hard for you. You get this extra greatness ticket. It's for special things that are special, that you at home really want them to do. Like, let's say they have a chore to take the trash out, and every day you have to remind them. One day they don't have to remind. Greatness ticket. You did that all on your own. That's how that works. So parents, what are some, you know, and at home, when we were at school, we had Legos, we had Connects, we had different things that they, you know, we had a pet that they could play with. So, you know, at home what your child loves to do and play with. They don't have to be these virtual things that we do, because that's all we can offer. But you have stuff that are right at home, maybe a special snack that you know that your child loves. They have to earn that snack by getting so many points. I think there's so much creativity. Who at home already does kind of do this kind of thing, that they earn things, and you found that to work? Anybody? Oh, Jess wrote that he likes YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can use that. That's great.
And I wanted to show you exactly how to use Dojo, Class Dojo, so that you know how to use it in your home, how to set it up, what you can do, and how you can put in those different rewards and things. So all that you do is you're going to just go to Class Dojo or Classroom Dojo, and it'll bring up a screen. So this is a demo class. These are not my students, but so this is what it looks like. Class Dojo, you can have a class story, so I can post different messages to parents. It's kind of just a one stream to everyone. It almost looks like Facebook, which it's kind of interesting because then parents know how to use it. It's user friendly. I can also, so I can message Jennifer Lopez's parent if I just need to send a quick message. This way we're not exchanging any phone numbers. Everything's confidential. It's just through an app. But for our point.
So how would they use this at home?
So at home, yep. So our students here, we have our kiddos, and you can add however many kids you have. And once you click on their name, so I clicked on Jennifer, you can add positive skills and skills that need work. So some skills that I added here are helping others, on task, participating, persistence, raising your hand, talking to classmates appropriately, teamwork, and working hard. These are just a few other things. So all that you have to do is click edit skills, and you can add a skill. So if you want make their bed, every time they make their bed, they get a point. So then let's say Jennifer made her bed today, I'm going to give you a point.
Yep.
And it tracks their points right here. But let's say, you know, Jennifer then got a reset. It also can document those, but notice they don't lose any points. They're not losing any points for these resets. It's just positives. So then, you know, they helped others. Jennifer gets another point. So
how about,
constantly.
Yeah, so how about like with a parent didn't talk back?
Yep. And these are all skills. You can add as many skills as you would like. Not talking back or not arguing, and it'll save it, and you just go ahead and click whichever. Oh, not talking back, I meant. But you can click whatever skill helps for you, and you can customize them. So then you can click redeem points, and let's say Jennifer, it was 3 points for, what did she earn? She earned YouTube time, 5 minutes, and we'll say 5 minutes. Then it redeems 3 of her points, and now it's back to 0. So I do let my students, I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see you all. I do let my students save one time just to get them, you know, used to saving, the idea of saving. They can save one time to earn more points for something great. So if they only have 20 points, they really are shooting for that 40-point, be my teacher's assistant, then that's something that they're working towards that next day. And it gives them the platform to be able to do that if they can save. And they know, they said, I didn't save yesterday, I can save today. Or they know, I saved yesterday, I need to use my points. So.
Any questions for Casey about that? Any thoughts? Anything stand out?
Good idea.
It's a good idea?
I think it's a good idea to try it. But the one thing that Jameson, my youngest, has struggles with is with the virtual learning is sitting still through the lessons. And it's a big struggle for him. And I tried the positive reinforcements. I tried taking stuff away from it. And it seems like nothing else is, we're at our point now, nothing's working right now.
I had a friend who, she was saying that maybe for kids that are struggling with staying in their seat, maybe giving them 2 spots. This is where you sit, and when you're done sitting, you can turn your computer or whatever, and this is your standing spot when you're learning. That you could try that. Also, does your child have fidgets? Do you have things that they can be playing?
Yeah, we have fidgets. It's more of like, we tried even moving his space. He said he wanted a different space because like we changed the space, but it seems like it's not, like he'll just take off, run, and we're trying to teach him of, if you have to go to the bathroom, don't just run off, verbalize it, because he does have a speech delay. So, and sometimes it struggles with verbalizing that, and he'll just take off. Or if something gets too frustrating, he can't verbalize a lot of times, like his feeling. He has trouble with that also.
So I think that then I would say keep working with the positive in these specific things.
Okay.
And maybe even increase the amount of points. If he wants to run away and he holds it and he doesn't, he gets 5 points.
Okay.
You could do, you know, special things, and also remember those greatness tickets.
Okay.
And make and be very juicy. You're so proud of him when he doesn't do those things.
Okay.
But when he does do it, you're unemotional.
Okay.
This work if you don't do stand one, which means you don't get emotional.
Because I think he does know when I get the reaction I give sometimes, and he feeds off it.
Yep. Yep. That's when he's getting the gift of his mom, of you. Only give him the gift of you when he's doing what he should be doing.
Yeah.
And Nicolle, can I just add too, it might seem when you first start out with the constant positive, like you're constantly saying it, you're constantly giving points, and you might feel like it's a lot, but it does help. I have found to, you know, sometimes I say it, oh, I love how you are sitting in your seat, you are ready to learn. And it sounds like you're saying it a lot, but it does work. And, oh, I see you're sitting in your seat. Who else is sitting? And they head right back to their seat if they're not in it, because they want that positive. They want their point then that they're staying at their designated space.
Okay. Because that's been the main, a lot of the struggle throughout the virtual so far is him just easily distracted. I walk away from it because I sit with him through all the live lessons, sit right next to him, and I help him with his independent. And that was the main thing. He does the work. He's very bright when he's sitting there doing the work. He does amazing, and when he's focused, but when he's not focused that day, it's bad. It could get bad.
So do you think you might try the dojo with him? Because
I'm gonna try the dojo, and I'm actually gonna try with my stepdaughter too, and even my freshman, to give him positive reinforcement. My freshman ain't so much right now, but his organization, that might help his organization, and he can earn a video game.
Yeah, exactly. You got it, girl. Yep. I think it'll make a difference. Yep. Yep. Anything else, anybody? Carissa said she likes fidget toys. Sitting on a big yoga ball helps. You know, something to bounce on. They like that. That helps them at times. That's a good one. Okay. So that's the point system, and it deals with all of these things. So here's our list again, right? And isn't it amazing that so many of the things that we're showing you help in those areas? So being positive, positive, positive. Here are some resources that I recommend. If you need to take the survey, if you're wondering, does my child have ADHD? If you want to find out for sure, doing the surveys, going to a doctor is very helpful. I really recommend that. We can have more parenting workshops on different things. I have a friend, Andrew Smith, who is incredibly knowledgeable about this, and she's also part of the Charlotte Mason movement. She started a group down here called the Blue Orchard Bee. I think some of you might be interested in going to and learning from that group. So I'm going to show you, let's see, we'll go here. If you go to the Charlotte Mason Institute and you type in Blue Orchard Bee, you'll see that they have blogs and they have a group for parents of kids who have kids that are easily distracted, kids who have autism, kids who have special needs. This is a group for parents to work through those things. And these are the two ladies over here. This woman here, you can't really see, I don't know why they cover it up, but Andy Smith has EFD, she's ADHD, and this woman over here has autism. And they really want to help parents. See, there's videos they have, and they have a group that you can join. So being with other parents who have these same issues would be great to maybe for some of you to join if you'd be interested in that. So that's a resource for you. And then books. I highly recommend Smart But Scattered. It is an amazing book, and kids can read it too, and it can help them to understand who they are. That way they will stop beating themselves up, and they'll just start realizing, I just need special glasses, that's all. I need different things for my brain. So let's give them glasses, right? So I want you to start thinking, can you start doing simpler tasks for them? Can you help them organize and give them reminders all around the house and not be impatient about it, just accept it. That's who they are. Can you do the nurtured heart approach with them? Can you go to that website and start watching those videos? And can you start an earning point system for them? So what are some takeaways? What are you taking away from this? What is standing out to you the most? And I love how well you guys have shared. You've been so honest and vulnerable. I really am admiring you for that.
I took away being a more positive approach and not trying to get us frustrated as much, because I know, like in heart, I'm gonna get emotional because in heart of hearts, I know that it's not, because he is sensory processing disorder. We're trying to get the diagnosis for autism. He has the developmental delays and speech delay, and I know this is not his fault, but it does get frustrating at times, like trying to try different methods, what works for him, because sometimes one method one week can completely work and then the next time it won't work. But like what I took more positive and me less getting frustrated with him, like to be and try this way of earning instead of earning, because I don't like to take away from him, stuff away from him. I rather try to earn and be more positive with it.
Good for you. Good for you. Anybody else? Krista, do you have any takeaways? What about you, Jess? Anything that really stood out to you that you want to try?
Try doing points with him and see if that works.
Good. Awesome.
Like right now, he has YouTube taken from him. So I'm hoping he earns points by getting a couple shows once a day.
Yeah. He will, hun. This really does work. If you really follow it, Casey, why don't you, I mean, you're just seeing such a difference with your boys, aren't you?
Yeah, and I was honestly really nervous about remote with them because I just wasn't sure, and it's been amazing, and they've really taken to the point system and the rewards, because they were used to the tangible rewards of things. So the virtual rewards have been doing amazing. They look forward to their points, their ticket time. That's what we call it, their ticket time, and they look forward to it, and they know that when they do something, they get that point. Yeah. So it's been amazing.
Good. And Krista wrote she likes all the positive reinforcement and lots of check-in or checklists. Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, Dana, we saw that you joined us late, but we did record this. So I see your name there, so I know you're here. But we did record it, so you'll be able to get some things from there. There's Dana. Good to see you. Yep, we are recording it. So can I just say that it's amazing to be with parents like you that are willing to spend an hour at night and really figure out how you can help your child. Thank you for being with us tonight. And would you guys like some more mini workshops like this on specific things? Should we offer some more things like this? Would you come? Okay. What would you like more of? Would you like to learn more about EFD? Yeah, you want to learn more about EFD? Okay, we could do one on that. Anything else that you would like to learn more about? Maybe we'll go ahead.
Like, it's more like anxiety based, because a lot of I noticed with both kids, and even our stepdaughter that goes to a different school is having a lot of anxiety with virtual learning, of keeping up to different expectations. They're having I noticed all three of them are having anxiety, something like that, like how to help them cope with the emotions of this new change of everything.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so anxiety and coping, that's one. And then another would be understanding EFD more.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we can also do check-ins. You guys can tell us what's working with your point system and what's not, and we can talk about ways to tweak it or that kind of thing too. So yeah, and Krista agreed about the anxiety. Okay, so those are some things that we'll look into. Well, it was a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And Casey, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. And Elizabeth for producing for us. We really appreciate it. So let's everybody give a round of applause and a big hand. It was great to see you all. Have a great night.